Let's talk about self-confidence. But what if I told you that most of what we think we know about it is just plain wrong? That it's got nothing to do with faking it till you make it or being the loudest voice in the room? Today, we're going to dig into a totally different way of looking at it, one that starts from the inside. Let's get right into it.
You know the image we all have in our heads, right? Confidence is that super assertive person who never seems to have a single doubt. We see it acted out all the time. But is that real? Or is it just a performance? A mask that people wear?
Okay, let's just reframe this whole idea. Real confidence isn't about putting on a show. It's actually way quieter than that. It's about having the guts to just be you. It's that deep, unshakable feeling you get when you have absolutely nothing to prove. This is the foundation we're going to build on today. All right, first things first. We have to draw a really, really clear line in the sand. We've got to separate genuine confidence from its loud, obnoxious cousin, arrogance. They are not the same thing. And here's the biggest difference. Arrogance is all for show. It needs an audience, it needs likes, it needs applause to even exist. But true confidence? That's an inside job. It's calm, it's steady, it doesn't need to shout from the rooftops because it's just there. It's about being real, not just being heard.
So, if confidence is an internal feeling, how in the world does that actually affect our daily lives? Well, this brings us to a pretty mind-bending concept, and honestly, it's a game changer. It's the idea that the world is your mirror.
Have you ever had this feeling like you're stuck in a loop? No matter what you do, the same kind of situations or the same types of people just keep showing up and poking at your biggest insecurities? It is so frustrating, but believe it or not, it's not random.
The secret is surprisingly simple, even if it's hard to swallow. Your outside world is almost always a direct reflection of your inside world. This isn't some kind of spooky magic. It's about the subtle signals you send out and the things you unconsciously move towards, all based on what you believe about yourself deep down.
Let's just walk through how this plays out. If, at your core, you carry a belief that you're not quite good enough, well, you're going to subconsciously look for evidence to prove that right. You'll interpret a vague comment as criticism. You'll attract people who treat you that way. The world, in a way, just hands you the proof for what you already decided is true.
Okay, so if the world is a mirror, what's controlling the reflection we keep seeing? This leads us to an incredible metaphor that explains everything: your success thermostat. It perfectly explains why we sometimes slam on the brakes right when we're about to level up in life.
And this is all built on one fundamental law of how we operate as humans. You absolutely cannot, for any sustainable period of time, outperform your own self-image. The way you see yourself inside sets a hard limit on what you can achieve on the outside. It's a ceiling.
I mean, think about it just like the thermostat on your wall. It's set to, say, 72 degrees. If the room gets too hot, meaning you start getting more success, more happiness, more love than you're used to, an alarm goes off inside. The system kicks on to cool things down and bring you right back to that familiar 72-degree setting.
And what sets that temperature? It's your paradigm. That's just a fancy word for your mental operating system. It's made up of all your habits and beliefs that you've picked up over a lifetime. The crazy part is, most of it runs on autopilot, defining your comfort zone and, yeah, controlling your results.
And we've all seen this play out as self-sabotage. You're about to land that dream job. The relationship is going really well. And then suddenly, bam, that internal alarm goes off. It feels weird, it feels unfamiliar. So without even realizing it, you do something to pull back. You procrastinate on the final report. You pick a silly fight. You let doubt win. And just like that, you're back where it's comfortable.
So, look, if the real problem is an internal thermostat that's just set too low, then trying harder on the outside isn't the answer. The only real solution is to start renovating from the inside out.
This right here, this is the goal. This is what we're aiming for, a sense of self that is completely independent of what other people think. It doesn't need likes, it doesn't need a promotion, it doesn't need validation from anyone. When your confidence is homegrown, nobody can take it away from you.
And that really lays out the two different ways to live. You can go the outside-in route, which is shaky and needs constant approval, like a house of cards. Or you can build inside-out confidence, which is solid, built on the rock of who you really are. It's stable, it's calm, and it's real.
At the end of the day, it really just comes down to this. If you want to see different results in your life, you have to change the program that's running the show. It's not about hustle or willpower. It's about getting in there and rewiring the core beliefs that are setting your thermostat in the first place.
And that reprogramming journey starts with one thing: reconnecting with your real self. Who you were before the world started telling you who you should be. It's about remembering that you are worthy just because you exist, separate from any success or failure. That's the source. That's where it all begins.
So I'll leave you with this question to really think about. If you were to take an honest look at your own internal thermostat, what's the one core belief that's keeping that temperature set too low? Because just identifying it, that is the first and most powerful step you can take.